What's up, Broadcast Nation? Today, part I don't know of Zero to Hero build. Today, I think we're going to get into the suspension, doing the front and the rear suspension. Um, I mean, everything's gone basically, so it's all going to need put back on, and pretty much all of it's new. So I'm gonna try to maybe get a little in depth on some of it, a little bit more than I was at least. I know I haven't really been showing you guys much of anything, but on this one, I'm gonna try to show you guys how everything's coming together exactly. So, you know, let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the driver's side together here. I kind of went through and did this to make sure basically I knew how everything went. And I will show you guys a little bit like in depth more of how I did this on the other side. But I wanted to go over a few things here, just go over, you know, the parts that we're using here. So I guess we'll start out. We have the Godspeed adjustable rear lower control arm. We've got the ISR Pro Series arms. I'd honestly, other than this one right here being the upper control arm, I don't know what that short one is or what that long one's called. I always forget. We've got the ISR coilover. We've got the Villain dual caliper setup. These rotors are from P2M. See, they're also slotted for four lug if you want. Stock caliper. Got some ISR braided lines, but yeah, I think that sums it up. You can get literally all of this except for the Godspeed arm and the Villain's dual caliper setup from either Injuku Racing or Concept Z Performance. I got them stuff from both of them, but I'm pretty sure they sell, each one of them sells all of this, minus the things I said. But I'll link those in the description if you guys want to check them out. I mean, none of this is sponsored, but, you know, they're good websites, especially for people doing import things like this. Now, like I said, this is all complete. Everything is done except for hooking up this secondary caliper. I also had to tighten all these arms down. I've realized I need some new wrenches. Some of this stuff gets a little bigger than 25, and 25 is the biggest I have. So, yeah. Oh, also, I forgot. This 5-lug conversion hub is from those guys. Ichiba, I guess. I don't know. That came as the conversion hub and the new wheel bearing all in one already. So, yeah. But let's go ahead and get on over to the other side. Alright, so first things first, we gotta get our arms adjusted, which I just got done doing. Now, if you see, these are all like double adjustable, which is really nice because that means that you can end up putting this on and then loosening these and turning this center section, and it will actually adjust this. So I don't know what I'm doing, to be straight up honest. When it comes to adjusting these arms, I have no idea where they need to be. I'm basically just kind of setting them as close to the stock arms as I can, and we're going from there. You know, I'm gonna end up having to take it to somebody who actually knows what they're doing, and they can mess with it. But this longer one here, like I said, I don't remember the name of it. It's the one that goes right here. So it comes with extra sleeves, bushings, whatever you want to call these. Now you see how the one set is shorter than the other set? I have to use these shorter ones, because if I try to put them longer ones in there, it does not fit. So yeah, these are not hard to get out. I basically just, you see how you can see the space in between in there? I just stuck like a screwdriver or something in there and just pushed it out. The bitch of it is when you put the new one in, you got to try to get it fitted around this rubber here. So I've got me a handy dandy little like pick tool that I just kind of put in there and went around it. But yeah, so I'm gonna get those changed out, and then I think we're ready to start. Okay, so you got your knuckle here, your rear knuckle. So when you go to put the villains kit on, you have to shave down. If you can see, there used to be numbers right there, and then this area right here used to come out more. So you just got to shave all that down. That way you can make sure that their bracket fits on here nice and smooth. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our knuckle here, and we're going to take our wheel bearing, conversion hub, whatever you want to call it, and our villains mounting bracket here for that second caliper. And we are going to stick that on here. And then just sandwich it in between. And then if we flip this over, we can take our factory bolts, which I put a little bit of Loctite on, and thread them on in. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and torque these down. So, there you have it. That's down on there. Okay, so next, I'm going to do this a little different than I did the other side. We're going to go ahead and put this Godspeed arm on the knuckle. This is your new ball joint. Very weird. It's supposed to be sturdier though. So, now I've still got this like a little loose and stuff. So if we do have to change the angle of it or whatever, it's not, you know, locked down. So the ball joint's going to go on there like that, and then the knuckle piece, and then your castle nut on top. See if we can make this happen. All right, so the castle nut's on there. It's a 19. I'm gonna go ahead and torque it down. All right. Now, I didn't necessarily torque it down, but you know, it's about as tight as it's gonna get. And we gotta make sure that this hole lines up so we can put the cotter pin through. Now, not gonna lie, I think their cotter pin is kind of shit, so I supplied my own. At least for this top part here. Alright, there we go. Nice and out of the way. Then there's the one on the bottom. I'll use their cotter pin because I didn't have any that were the right size. So I guess we should probably tighten that up too while we're at it. Alright, so that is a 25. And we'll go ahead and just snug that up. There we go. Now we can put our shitty cotter pin in. And I'll show you why I say it's shitty. So I can literally just bend this thing all the way around with my fingers. Ta-da! We're going to move the camera and everything, and we're going to try to get this mounted up in the wheel well. Alright, hopefully you guys can see. I know this is kind of in the way a little bit. But you got your spot here, and your spot right here. You're going to want to... Now, like I said, this is a little different than how I did it on the other side. The other side I put the arm in first, but I thought it'd be easier to torque everything down with it off the car. So it might make more of a hassle now. I'm not too sure. The answer is absolutely yes. So I got to get my persuasion in here. And I'm going to have to try to hold this bastard while I do it. All right. Sorry for the background noise. I have a fan on. That took a lot more persuading than I would have liked. I think a lot of it has to do with this coating that I put on the subframe. It's pretty thick. And the fact that we had this on there already. I actually don't recommend doing it this way. Although it was easier to tighten like the ball joint up and stuff. And it was really easy to put this wheel bearing on. Getting this to go in there right was kind of a bitch because it was way heavier than it should have been. But yeah, I got the bolts in there. So I stuck one through going this direction, And it really doesn't matter. At least I don't think so. And then this one I had to stick going this way because you can barely get in here to stick the nut on it to begin with. Part of that is because of the solid subframe bushings I put in here. They actually raise the subframe a little bit. Okay, so we got these bolts in here and the nuts on. I'm not going to torque them down yet because I don't want to torque it down with it being down at this angle. We are going to go ahead, and since this is all on, we're going to go ahead and slide our axle in here. Okay, so you're going to push this in and angle it as downward as you can, and you can just barely slide her in there. There we go. So go ahead and put your washer on. Put your big old hunkin' nut on there. This thing is a 36. So I'm not gonna like torque this down or anything. I'm basically just getting it on there so the axle can't come out. The amount of torque it takes to put this thing on, I'm gonna wait until the car's on the ground again. I found that a much easier approach. But next, I'm gonna get one of these other arms on here. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna do whatever this one's called. I know you guys are probably gonna tear me up about it. But yeah, whatever this one's called. So you just slide her on in back there. It's a bit of a tight fit. Might have to get the persuader out a little bit here. All right, now this one takes a special bolt. I don't remember what they call these, but yeah, it takes a special bolt. It's got these markings in it. It's also got grooves cut in it for this special washer. So yeah, all I know is these are expensive. The nut, not so much. But this has to come in from the front, I'm pretty sure. So there we go, she's all the way through. I really should have sanded some of this coating off first. You know, you're gonna put your washer and your nut on. Now, all I know about these bolts is that they are for the alignment. I don't know anything else about them. So now that that side's on, you go ahead and get this sucker up here. Line up. Come on. Alright, screw you. We'll go in this side. Doesn't really matter. There we go. There's a bunch of that damn stupid grease. Yeah, of course, a bunch of that grease from doing the energy suspension bushings comes through. So go ahead and get your nut on there. Alright, now we can go ahead and do another one. I'm going to choose this little one that I still don't remember the name of. Just going to kind of push these bushings in a little bit. slide it on through. This is another one you gotta kind of watch, because with my solid subframe bushings, there's not much room over here. So you kind of got to make sure the bolt is not all the way in there, or you're not going to be able to get this nut on. Come on. All right. Grab me another nut and bolt. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put this part on. Oh, okay. There we go. Clean off this stupid grease. Put it on. So I really hope you guys can see. It's really hard to get a good camera angle on this stuff, especially with me having to be in here in the wheel well. Now, last but not least, this squiggly bastard. Now this one I actually know the name of. This is the upper control arm. Well, RUCA, rear upper control arm. So now, you see how it's got like a twist to it? It does kind of curve up. There's no instructions with this shit, but from what I was kind of looking up online, it looks like it should go like this, like the curve up should be, it should be curving up. So hopefully that's, you know, correct. But just like all the other ones, we're gonna shove her on in there. This one needs a little persuading. Okay, this is another one that takes one of them weird bolts and washers. So obviously we can't get it in this side, so we have to go in from this side. And then I gotta be very lenient with trying to stick this through here, because there is like no clearance over here at all now. So I just gotta kind of try to get this sucker started. Alright, it's on there. Now we can go ahead and get this. It helps when you get it in the position that it's probably going to set in. Alright, so now we got all the arms on, and we have all the bolts in for all the arms. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through all these, and I'm going to torque them down. Now that they're all basically about where they're supposed to be, then we will work on getting the brake set up on here. Okay, not the brakes yet. Forgot one more very important part. Our new coilover. Got this thing pretty much where I want it as far as height goes. Make sure to take the nuts off the top. Don't be a dumbass like me. Try to stick it through there with the nuts on it. Alright, so let's see if we can't get this thing in here. So. That's right. Shit. Okay, I almost forgot. We gotta put this stupid little, like, spacer on here. On the stud down here. I don't know why ISR does that. I don't know why they can't just make the bottom of these, you know, the way it needs to be, but whatever. So we'll go ahead and slide that over the bottom there, and then I forgot I need the jack. Okay, with the help of your handy dandy jack, you're gonna want to jack up here and just kind of guide this in on the top. I got one through just enough. Leave this come down a little bit. Needs to turn up here. Now, there we go. So then you can go ahead and tighten your nuts on top, and then we'll tighten the nut, and there's a big washer that goes on here down at the bottom, and we'll be good. All right, next part we're going to be tackling is putting on the brakes along with the dual caliper setup. First thing you want to put on is your rotor shim. So there we go, and that is drilled for 4 or 5 lug for your convenience. You're going to want to take your preloaded caliper that you get from Villains, and then I'm going to take my rotor. It's a P2M slotted drilled rotor, and you're going to want to put your caliper right on that, because you have to have the caliper on the rotor when you go to put it over these studs on that mounting bracket. Now here's the fun part. If I can find my damn studs, there they are, and then find the ones on the back. There we go. Alright, now what I learned from the other side, you're going to take your 2 nuts. If you kind of pull the rotor, have it kind of cocked, and have this where it's just barely sitting on there, you have a little bit more room to get your nuts in here. Oh my god, I got that one first try. Holy shit. I'm telling you, that top one, absolute bitch. The bottom one is not so bad, because the bottom one, you can come up through the bottom, and I feel like you got a lot more room down there to do what you need to do. Now I say that, and I'm gonna drop it. Yep. Alright, round 2. This is honestly like one of the worst parts about this kit. It's an ingenious idea, but man, damn it. This part kind of sucks. And like I said, I mean, this is the easiest way I found was, there we go, was to kind of just crank the rotor out just a little bit, like kind of have it cocked. Now, if I remember right, these are 17s. Yes, they are. So then, once you get them on there, you do the wonderful task of cranking it a quarter turn at a time. So we'll check back in here in a little bit. Alright, once you get those nuts snug down to your liking, you can go ahead and put your stock caliper on, making sure that you put this shim back in here. That way it spaces everything out and everything will be even. Alright, so now that I found everything and I figured out how to get these stupid things on there, you gotta make sure you've got this back here. You're gonna slide your bracket piece over there. God damn it. Okay, so you slide your bracket on here with your brake pads. That's an absolute bitch to put on. Make sure you have your shim. They're not the right bolts, are they? Alright, let's try this again. Helps when you got the right fucking bolts. So you're going to take your bracket, I don't know, pad holder, whatever. You're going to take this shim, put it back here, slide this on. Oh man, it actually goes in there when you have the right bolts. Fancy that. Make sure your shim and everything lines up down here. Now you can go ahead, get the caliper back on. Might want to hook the e-brake up, which is what I'm about to do here. Alright, so there we go. I got the stock caliper slapped up here. I just got to tighten some of the rest of this down. I got to make a new brake line because the brake line I made to go to this one is just a little bit too short. No big deal, I got plenty of brake line left. But yeah, we have to run the hose to this still for the dual caliper. I mean, that's not too bad. I wanted to wait, and I think I'm going to run the double stacked lines over here and then run the singular line to the other side because the exhaust is on the other side. So I feel like that the less stuff I have near the exhaust, the better. But yeah, all I gotta do is go back through and, like I said, on the other side, just make sure all these jam nuts are tightened up and stuff. I don't have a big enough wrench. My 25 is not big enough, at least not for all of them. So yeah, there it is. Hopefully that footage wasn't terrible. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. I'm not really sure what we're going to move on to next. Probably just start working on the front. Get all this done on the front too. Okay guys, so I have no idea what happened to the footage, but I filmed some of this and I don't know what happened. But anyway, I got both the front sides together. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. We got our ISR coilover, our ISR conversion brake line, 300ZX brake, another phase 2 rotor. Then we've got the fun part, our GK Tech bolt-on angle kit. Got everything all hooked up. I did have to cut the inner tie rod. I had to shorten it a little bit. It really wasn't too bad. GK Tech has a pretty good video on how to do that, so I recommend looking it up. But yeah, both sides are together. Well, I also got my ISR adjustable, I don't know what that arm's called over there. But yeah, the front is together minus the sway bar because I'm not sure yet if we're going to be able to use it. I don't know if any of this is set up properly. I mean, I did the best I could, but I'm sure I'm going to have to take it somewhere and have them actually, you know, make it right. But you've seen the back was together. I just got to go back through and kind of tighten all this stuff down. Make sure everything's tight at least. Now I have swapped out all the bleeders on all the calipers for Russell speed or quick bleeders, whatever you want to call them. They usually work really, really well. I also had to put the rear sway bar on. I just realized. But after those couple things are together, I think we should be able to throw some wheels on this sucker and put it on the ground and see what she looks like. I guess first, I do need to run these brake lines for these calipers, these dual ones. Other than that, I do need to do the transmission mount still, but I think after that, I mean, the exhaust still needs done. I might wait on that. But yeah, we're plugging along here. Yeah, I guess I can show you the other side too. There you go. Alright, so I don't know where I left off. I think I showed you guys I got the front suspension and everything together. I put the tire on there just to kind of see. We might stick out a little bit. I don't know. We'll see once it's on the ground and everything. That's all gonna need adjusted. I did roll these quarters back here to try to help save these tires in the back. The exhaust is not on there yet. I had to order a cat because the muffler I planned on putting in there would not fit. So I just bit the bullet and I bought a high flow cat from ISR. That way I know it fits. I just gotta wait for it to get here. So I had to move the battery box because I forgot all about this bar right here. Yeah, so I'm smart. So I also got these lines kind of mounted a little bit, just to help kind of keep them out of the way. I did have to go back through and redo a bunch of the flares on the brake lines because I apparently misunderstood how you were supposed to do those. But it's all good. All the brakes are bled now. Handbrake is bled. Yeah. Looking into installing the harness bar. Just, you know, getting shit done. I also started to do the power steering, hook up the hose and everything, and I was gonna bleed it and all that. And I realized I need a pre-bent hose because it has to go from right there to right here. So if you snake that big hose back around and up onto that, it ends up kinking. So, or you have to make it so long that it's going to be like all the way down here. So I don't want that. Right now I'm just kind of waiting on parts, to be honest. Waiting on that cat. I'm waiting on the line over here. Honestly, that might be about it. But once I get that stuff done, we can set it on the ground and see what it looks like. And then after that, we can install the seat. I'd really like it to be on the ground to install the seat. Not that seat. Hopefully, we don't have too many clearance issues here. I don't want to turn the wheels yet. Especially with it not really, it being basically a dry system right now. But yeah, I kind of tried to align the front wheels a little bit. I need to get it on the ground and so I can really see what the alignment looks like, because it's really hard to tell up here. Hopefully I'll get those parts here in a few days and I'll get back to work.